What if the man Heartland fans thought they'd never see again suddenly returned? What if Ty Borden's story wasn't over after all? The whispers are getting louder, the theories are getting wilder, and the idea of Graham Wardle stepping back into the Heartland world is no longer just a far-off dream. It's becoming a possibility that fans can't stop talking about. Heartland Season 19 is already stirring up more conversation than the show has seen in years, and one reason stands above all others: the possibility that Ty Borden could somehow make a comeback. It's the kind of rumor that spreads like wildfire, half hope, half mystery, pulling in both longtime viewers and those who drifted away after his heartbreaking departure in Season 14. The loss of Ty wasn't just another storyline, it was a turning point that altered the emotional core of the show. His death left Amy to navigate a world without her partner, her best friend, and the father of her child, while fans were left grappling with an emptiness that no new character has been able to fully replace. Now, as Season 19 approaches, there's a different kind of energy in the air. The show's theme this year, embracing change and stepping into the unknown, has opened the door to wild possibilities. For many, that means imagining a plot twist that could bring Graham Wardle back into the story, whether as Ty himself, a dream, a memory, or even a completely new character. And while it might sound impossible, Heartland has always had a way of surprising its audience when they least expect it. The speculation gained traction after small but noticeable hints began popping up. Cast interviews have been filled with careful wording, teasing major surprises without giving anything away. Social media has been buzzing with fan theories, with some pointing to the show's history of emotional callbacks, and others convinced that a carefully crafted twist, like introducing Ty's identical twin, could make it happen without undoing the emotional weight of his death. It's not just about bringing a beloved actor back on screen, it's about giving fans a moment they've been waiting for, a chance to reconnect with the magic that Amy and Ty brought to Heartland for over a decade. For those who have followed the series from the beginning, Ty and Amy's love story was more than just romance. It was the heartbeat of the show. We watched them grow together, weather has storms, raise a family, and build a life rooted in trust and shared dreams. That bond, forged through years of challenges and triumphs, is why the thought of Ty's return feels so powerful. It's not just a character revival, it's the reopening of a chapter that was closed far too soon. Of course, bringing Ty back is not without challenges. His death was one of the most significant moments in Heartland's history, and reversing it outright could risk alienating fans who valued the authenticity of that grief. This is why the twin theory, or limited appearances and flashbacks and dreams, resonate so strongly. They allow for Graham Wardle's return while preserving the emotional truth of the story. Whether through a haunting dream sequence that gives Amy clarity, or a new character who forces her to confront old feelings, the possibilities are endless. And that's exactly why fans can't stop talking. Right now, the question isn't just if Ty could return, but how it would happen, and what it would mean for Amy, Lindy, and the entire Bartlett-Fleming family. Would his presence be a source of healing, or would it reopen wounds that had only just begun to scar over? That uncertainty is part of the excitement, and part of the reason Season 19 is shaping up to be one of the most emotionally charged seasons in the show's history. The rumors surrounding Ty's possible return have taken on a life of their own, weaving through fan discussions, online forums, and even casual interviews with the cast. Some viewers are convinced that the production team has been deliberately dropping hints, small, almost unnoticeable breadcrumbs meant to stir speculation without confirming anything outright. Others believe it's all wishful thinking, an emotional reaction from fans who have never truly let go of Ty's presence in the Heartland universe. But the truth is, even the faintest suggestion of his comeback is enough to spark a wave of excitement, because Ty Borden wasn't just a character, he was a part of the show's soul. One of the most talked about theories is that Ty could reappear through a storyline involving an identical twin. It might sound far-fetched, but in television history, it's a proven way to reintroduce a beloved actor without erasing what came before. Imagine a man who shares Ty's face, but has lived a completely different life, one filled with his own struggles, secrets, and relationships. His arrival in Hudson would send shockwaves through the Bartlett-Fleming family, especially for Amy. The emotional conflict would be almost unbearable. Seeing someone who looks exactly like the man she loved, yet knowing he is not the same person. It's the kind of tension that could fuel not just one episode, but an entire season. Another possibility that fans have latched onto is a deeper exploration of Amy's grief through dreams and flashbacks. Heartland has always excelled at weaving emotional memories into its current storylines, and this season's focus on change and self-discovery could easily open the door for Amy to revisit the past in a way we haven't seen before. Dream conversations with Ty could offer her guidance, closure, or even the courage to move forward. Flashbacks might allow viewers to relive those quiet, intimate moments between Amy and Ty, moments that defined the series for so many years. For fans who have missed the warmth of their connection, even a brief return through memory would be powerful. There's also the more unpredictable path, the idea that Ty's comeback could be something no one has guessed yet. Heartland's writers have proven they can surprise the audience in ways that feel both shocking and natural, delivering twists that are emotional rather than sensational. If they choose to bring Graham Wardle back, it's likely they would do so in a way that serves the story, honors the character, and adds depth to the season's themes of change and resilience. This unpredictability is part of what keeps fans on edge, dissecting every teaser, every promotional photo, and every vague answer from the cast in interviews. And then there's the reality that Graham Wardle himself has never completely shut the door on Heartland. While he left the series to pursue new creative paths, his bond with the cast, crew, and fans has remained strong. Every so often, he shares reflections or interacts with fans who still associate him with Ty, reminding everyone that the connection is still there. If he were ever to return, even for a limited role, the timing would have to feel right. For him, for the writers, and for the story. With Season 19 being pitched as one of the most emotionally impactful in years, that right time may be closer than anyone thinks. The bigger question is how a return, whether real or imagined, would affect Amy's life now. She has spent years rebuilding herself after Ty's death, raising Lindy, and finding a way to carry his memory without letting it hold her back. Introducing Ty's face back into her world could challenge all of that progress, forcing her to confront feelings she thought she had buried. Would it reignite old love, create new pain, or perhaps lead to something entirely unexpected? This is the kind of emotional gamble that could define not just the season, but the legacy of Heartland itself. As the countdown to Heartland Season 19 continues, the atmosphere among fans feels like the calm before a storm. Quiet on the surface, but charged with anticipation underneath. Every new teaser from the production team, every behind-the-scenes photo, and every vague comment from the cast is being analyzed with almost forensic precision. The mystery around Ty's potential comeback isn't just a talking point. It has become the emotional core of fan discussions. Whether you believe in the twin theory, dream sequences, or an entirely new narrative twist, one thing is certain: the thought of Graham Wardle stepping back onto the Heartland set has the power to transform the entire season. But if Ty's return does happen, even in the smallest way, the ripple effects will touch every storyline. For Amy, it could be the most defining moment of her life since losing him. Imagine her standing face to face with someone who looks exactly like Ty, whether it's him or not, and feeling the flood of emotions she's kept locked away for years. That moment alone could ignite a season's worth of tension, questions, and soul-searching. Would she cling to the memory of the man she loved, or open herself to the possibility that life can bring love back in unexpected forms? For Lindy, Ty's reappearance, real or symbolic, could open a door to understanding more about her father. She has grown up hearing stories about him, seeing photos, and learning about the kind of man he was. Meeting someone who looks like him, or even seeing her mother reconnect with him through memories, would be life-changing. It's not just about nostalgia for the audience, it's about the characters themselves, facing truths they didn't know they needed to confront. The Bartlett-Fleming family, too, would be shaken. Jack, Lou, Tim, and the rest have each carried Ty's absence in their own way. His sudden presence, whether through a twist of fate or a new character with his face, would force old wounds to resurface and challenge the paths they've taken since losing him. The ranch has always been a place where family and love are tested, and this kind of twist would test them more than anything else in recent years. On a broader level, Ty's return could reinvigorate the entire Heartland series. Even the most dedicated fans admit that something changed after his death, that the magic of Amy and Ty's partnership was a kind of emotional anchor for the show. Bringing Graham Wardle back in any capacity would restore some of that spark, giving longtime viewers a reason to feel that deep connection again. It would also draw back fans who stopped watching after season 14, reigniting interest in the show's future. Yet, it's important to remember that Heartland has always been about authenticity and emotional truth. Any decision to bring Ty back will need to honor the journey the characters have taken since his death. It can't be a gimmick. It has to feel real, meaningful, and worthy of the emotional investment fans have made over nearly 2 decades. If done right, it could be the most unforgettable moment in the show's history. A moment that blends heartbreak, hope, and the enduring power of love. As we look ahead to the season 19 premiere, one question remains at the center of it all. Is Ty Borden's story truly over, or is there one last chapter waiting to be written? Whether the answer comes in the form of a dramatic reveal, a bittersweet dream, or a completely unexpected twist, it's clear that the possibility alone has already made this season one of the most talked about in Heartland's long history. Fans will be watching closely, holding their breath, and hoping that somewhere on the horizon, Ty Borden's shadow might appear once more. As the curtain slowly begins to rise on Heartland Season 19, the unspoken question hanging in the air is no longer just a whisper. It's a steady drumbeat in the hearts of fans. Will Ty Borden really return? This is more than a simple plot twist people are hoping for. It's a deeply emotional wish that's been building since the moment he was written out of the series. The idea of Graham Wardle riding back into the Heartland story carries a weight that could reshape the show forever. If it happens, even for a single episode, it wouldn't just be a surprise. It would be a television event that fans talk about for years. What makes the speculation so powerful is how personal it feels to the audience. Ty's journey wasn't just lines in a script. It was years of watching a young man find his way, fall in love, build a family, and grow into someone whose values and loyalty became central to the Heartland story. Losing him left a gap that, for many, has never been filled. Bringing him back, even through a twist like the identical twin theory, a lost relative, or carefully placed dream sequences, would feel like closing an emotional loop. It would give viewers a sense of reconnection, as if a part of Heartland's soul had returned home. But there's also the other side of the coin, the risks that come with a move this bold. The writers would need to balance honoring the depth of Ty's death with creating a believable reason for his face to return. If handled carelessly, it could feel like erasing years of character growth for Amy and the rest of the family. If handled with care, however, it could become one of the most poignant and meaningful arcs in the show's history. One that explores themes of identity, healing, and the strange ways life brings people back into our lives when we least expect it. For Amy, this potential twist would be a test like no other. She has fought hard to heal, to find her footing as a single mother, and to carry on Ty's legacy through her work and her parenting. Seeing his face again, whether it belongs to Ty himself or someone new, would push her to the emotional edge. Would she see it as a sign to open her heart again, or would it be a painful reminder of everything she's lost? Her journey in season 19 could hinge on that answer, making every interaction charged with meaning and tension. For the rest of the Bartlett-Fleming family, the shockwaves would be equally intense. Jack's protective nature, Lou's practicality, Tim's complicated emotions, all would come into play as they process the return of a face they never thought they'd see again. And for Lindy, it could be the moment that reshapes her understanding of who her father was, or at the very least, gives her a piece of him she's never had before. Heartland has always been a show about more than just the drama. It's about the people, the connections, and the belief that love and family endure through every hardship. A moment like Ty's return would tap into all of that, reminding fans why they fell in love with the series in the first place. It wouldn't just be a storyline, it would be an emotional milestone, both for the characters and the audience that has grown with them over nearly 2 decades. And so, as we wait for season 19 to unfold, the speculation isn't dying down, it's only getting louder. Every week that passes brings us closer to the answers we've been chasing. Will Ty Borden walk back into the barn one last time? Will Amy's world be turned upside down by a stranger with a familiar face? Or will the story take an even more unexpected turn, leaving us stunned in the best possible way? Whatever happens, one thing is certain. This season is poised to change everything. And if Ty's shadow appears on the horizon, it will be the moment that defines not just season 19, but the legacy of Heartland itself.